Confirmed Multimedia Productions.
For more exclusive content,
subscribe to our Patreon.
This podcast was produced by B. Haywood for Confirmed Podcast Network.
Big and lazy.
this is the Big and Lazy Podcast. Give us something good to eat. Give us something good to watch. So this is the Big and Lazy Podcast, man. I'm Big, I'm B-Fines. I'm back with another special guest. We got Tim, Mr. Fruitease, and welcome to the set.
What's happening? Appreciate you for having me, brother.
Oh, no, most definitely, man. I love his energy. I ran into him at the streetwear event by Over Tough Rugs, and the event was amazing. The energy was amazing, and his drink, man. I got the Purple Rain because my mama loved Prince. And oh my God, man, I almost spent the block. I got halfway down the block, like man. So welcome to How's it going, man?
Man, it's going good, man. And speaking of the Purple Rain, that's the butterfly pea flower, peach, blackberry, and ginger tea. But man, I can't complain. It's a pleasure to be here. I've been seeing everything you've been doing, man, and I was waiting for my turn.
I appreciate that.
So when I met you, I was like, hey, hopefully that you see what I got going on, because I would like to come and display and just kind of rap with you, you know what I'm saying, what we could do.
So growing up in the West End, man, so how was it, man?
Man, growing up in the West End, like, you know, people would say it was tough, but now it was just kind of more fun. And I got a lot of my basic knowledge from just being out and about with my homies and seeing my friends and family maneuver out in the West End. But it's completely different now than what I grew up with in the West End. So, like, now you got a bunch of, like, community gardens out there. You got a bunch of people who's, you know, building businesses. You got small business incubators and places like AMP where you can learn music. My 12-year-old is learning guitar, piano, and music production from them. So it's just a lot of opportunity out in the West End right now.
It is. They got speed bumps everywhere. It's safer. The roads are a lot safer, man.
Living out there, you don't like it, but I definitely understand it. I got probably like 4 speed humps on my block, so good for the kids.
I think they got, for people, they should announce a new traffic pattern to speed bumps like they do Amber Alerts. I was riding down Market the other day, and they done made it 2 ways, man. And every light is, you know, stop signs now. It's all, I guess it's all for the better.
It is definitely for the better. You great. We got the hospital down there. Shout out to Norton's. Me and my boys and my girl, we did a campaign through Norton's like 2 summers ago. So we on a few billboards and a few Tark stops around Louisville for the new Norton's that got built up out there.
What was the campaign? What was can you talk about that for a second?
It was with the Doe Henderson. Sheesh, I wish I had more information on it because it was about 2 years ago.
Okay, I got you.
But they hit us up and they just liked the way that the family looked and would like to see me and my boys in the garden on social media. I don't know how they actually got our contact, but contacted and said they would like to have us out for a shoot, and we did like a little small ad for in the garden with them, and it was about a bunch of people around Louisville who actually was inside of that campaign. It was he does music. He got the septum piercing. He's real big. Got the deep voice. Otis Jr.
I ain't hip to him.
Oh, okay. Man, he was in it. It was a bunch of people that's in the nonprofit world too that I seen out there too, who I just got to know. So it was super dope, and it was just like a family vibe out there for the video shoot. So they made it all comfortable for us to have our kids out there. After we did the shoot, it was a bunch of people on social media just like, "Hey, we see you on this billboard in Indiana. We see you." I just got a message the other day. Got one of me in the Yum Center still right now.
Really? That's amazing, man.
Still you? I got my dreads in the picture. I was like, "Yeah, it's me." And I didn't know they still had it up. So shout out to the new Nortons in the West End. Whole lot of stuff in the West End that just makes me proud that I didn't see being placed there.
When was your turning point? Like, when did you know you had a green thumb? Like,
oh man, that was a good 3 years ago. This is going on my 4th year of gardening. But my first year, I grew some Asiatic lilies. I got the bulb from my son's grandmother, and she was just like, "Oh yeah, they should come back next year." So I planted them. They bloomed and sprouted a bunch more. The next year later, it started to sprout up again. I'm looking like, is that what I planted last year? Granted, I've never even planted anything. So I was like, I'm going to go plant some sunflowers. That's my girl what her favorite flower was. She said sunflower. Planted some sunflowers. Them bad boys got about 10 feet tall. I'm talking about the heads of them about this big, and some of them got even bigger than that. And within one sunflower, you probably get about 2,000, 4,000 seeds. So I definitely kept a bunch of those seeds to grow the next year. But
So those seeds that we eat now, you can actually put them back into the
yeah,
ground.
yeah, they usually roast them. That way,
Yeah.
it's you know what I'm saying. They taste a lot better after you roast them. But yeah, same exact seeds. If you don't roast them or dehydrate them, you can throw it. Well, if you dehydrate them, you can still grow them. Like they're pretty preservable. You don't really gotta put them in nothing specific. You can put them in a brown paper bag or something to where they don't get weathered or anything like that. But yeah, sunflower, you plant one of them bad boys and you'll be surprised on how many seeds you'll get from that one seed or from that sunflower. And the funny thing about a sunflower is it's the full sunflower is 100% edible. So from the roots to the stalk to the head of the sunflower to the petals.
Really?
Yeah. So I learned that about 2, 3 years ago when I grew it.
So like, what are some of the health benefits of eating like the stem? And I never heard of.
Well, yeah, the roots probably the best of the probably give you the most benefits from it. But it's just as far as like circulation, helps the libido. It's a bunch. I had to go dig back into it because I learned it about 2, 3 years ago. But literally, you could use the stalk. It's kind of like a celery you put into your stews and stuff like that. You could use the petals inside of a salad or inside your stew for like a garnish, and the head of the sunflower you could fry that or grill it on the grill and
Really?
eat it. Yeah.
Huh.
So yeah, you should get nice and soft, and then season it how you will, and it's definitely. I'm gonna do some videos on the sunflower this summer for sure, because I've
Okay.
been waiting to do it. I actually I tried to grill one of them, but while I was in the midst of it, I was running back and forth with my kids, so I burnt it. But I still want to try it. So coming soon, y'all.
So when did you start taking it serious? Like when did you start taking gardening? Like when you knew, like
It was
I got a knack for
after
this.
the second year, man. I literally I grew sugar baby watermelons. They probably get about this big and super sweet. After I realized, I was like, man, I probably got about 20 something watermelons from her. So I'm gonna be looking to try to grow some cantaloupes. I grew cantaloupes, watermelons, yellow watermelons, orange watermelons, about 22 different hot peppers the year before last, about 11 different types of mint last year. Asparagus,
Really?
zucchini, squash, pumpkins. I had a little small pumpkin patch on the side of my yard for the second year, and we took them pumpkins for Halloween and we carved them and just had them sitting up the stairs. So me and the boys had fun with it. So I ended up baking a pumpkin and added beef broth and a bunch of my vegetables from my garden in it my second year. And we had like a pumpkin stew. After I got through pouring out the stew out, me and the kids ate it. I gave the pumpkin over to my dog, and she murdered it that first year. And it's apparently a lot of benefits inside of pumpkins for dogs. So as long as the rinds is soft enough, because I baked the whole pumpkin with the stew inside of it. So it was pretty soft by the time that I gave it to the dog.
So
she loved it.
you carved out the pumpkin, right?
Carved it out.
And put the stew in.
I put the broth and the chicken stock inside of her. I think I put carrots, kale, onions, garlic.
Sounds delicious.
Had some
man.
type of asparagus or green beans I think I threw in there. And then I had grilled some chicken and just chopped it on up and threw it inside of her with it. It was not the biggest pumpkin fan, so it was super good. So I was like, it'll be something that I do for now when I grow pumpkins, because I don't know how else to use pumpkins. I don't really eat pie or
Right.
do anything with pumpkin. I will bake a pie, but I won't be the one eating it.
So would you say this is your biggest haul like this year, this past?
Yeah, as far as gardening,
Yeah.
no, actually it wasn't. Sadly, year before last was my biggest haul. Last year, I kind of neglected a lot of my gardening because I was starting Fruitease, so I wasn't in the garden as much. So just me delivering teas. I was working probably 3 jobs in the midst of starting Fruitease. I quit 2 of the jobs and worked one of them, and now I just do Fruitease in one of my jobs, and Fruitease is handling the other 2 jobs place. So
There
it's
you
super
go.
good.
Maybe at one day it's gonna take you to the plate. You know what I mean?
Fingers crossed, this is where we're going right now. You know what I'm saying? We could baby step it, though. I'm not rushing for anything, but yeah, I would like for something that I love to do and just fulfills me to be something I can just do fully on the day to day and put all of my passion and time into.
So what made you like start Fruitease? Like what was that moment like?
I just love being in the garden. It's just so relaxing, and I was drinking a bunch of coffee. Like, I love coffee. Like, love coffee. I was working at Papa John's. I'd been there for 9 years. I was a general manager for one of the locations here in Louisville. And one month, I looked at my bank statement. I probably spent about like $380 on coffee at Starbucks.
Really?
And I would always get jittery because I was working, like I say, about 65, 75 hours a week as a general manager. It was like 2020, so it was hard to hire people. So I was paying for my coffees and getting other people in the store coffees, you know what I'm saying? Just to, just try to make everybody keep the camaraderie, keep everybody going. And I
Good
was like,
leader.
yo,
Good
but
answer.
majority of the money was from me, but I was getting a few other people, so it wasn't just 380 on me. But I was just like, yo, I gotta chill out on. I got kids, and even at that, when I drank the coffees, I get jittery. I don't like. I started to realize like, what the heck's going on with my body? So I was like, man, I have to start trying some tea. And tea ain't always been my thing. Like I always like the fruit tea, but you know what I'm saying? It's just where you can mix and match and add it whatever you want into
Right.
it, and you can make it for anybody. Honestly, like almost anybody that's came around me like I really don't fool with teas. I let them try one, and I can find a tea that they kind of care for. So
Real talk, man.
yeah, I just kind of start fooling with the teas. I realized that I had a bunch of leaves inside of my garden. Instead of me letting them just fall off and die out throughout the year, I was like, I'm gonna harvest all my leaves, take it in the house, put it in the dehydrator. I store them inside of a steel jar, and I could just go back to them throughout the year. So really, it started off for me. I was going into Play Cousins Collective, a nonprofit down there in the West End. I was teaching with the kids and doing after school programming, and a bunch of the women was like, "What's them jars you breaking in?" Granted, I didn't have the labels at the time,
Right.
so I was just like, "Oh, it's tea." It's like, "Oh, we thought you was coming in with moonshine." You know, it's funny. You know, I don't think you see people drinking out of jars, and I was like, "Oh no, man, I'm trying to chill on the coffee." So they just like, "Oh, you gotta let us try some." And I was like, "I was planning on trying to maybe do it for the farmers market." It was last January.
Yeah.
And they was just like, man, let's try some. So I went and got a case of jars from Ace Hardware. I think it's probably about $12 or so for the case. $10, $12. So I was like, I go home and just make as many teas as I can. I'll bring it there, let them pick from them. Went to Kroger's, got a few fruits, dehydrated them, crushed them down inside my blender. Made a bunch of them, went there, let them try it. They was like, oh, what you want for it? I was like, I was just letting y'all try it. It's like,
Right.
oh, no, you got charged, man. That's too good. So they was telling me to charge $12 or $15. I was like, I only paid $10 or $12 for the case of jars. So, you know, I ain't gonna do that. She's like, but it's still your hard work and it's from your garden. I
Right.
was like, give me $10. I probably sold the whole case that day. And
Really? Well, instant.
like that right there is what what guaranteed I had to do farmers markets. It was just a thought in the back of my mind, honestly. And from
So what-
her,
You know what flavor you had?
yeah, it was the tropical pink thing, and then my Citra down and relax. So it's my citrus one.
Mhm.
And, this is actually one of my first labels that I started.
Okay.
So the Citra ass down and relax was a play on words because it's citrus and it has chamomile in it, which is good for relaxation, stress relief, skin, hair, and nails. So I was like, I could throw it in there. And then turmeric's good for the hair and nails too. So I was like, let me try to make something that's good and combative with each other. So I had grapefruit, orange, lemon, lime, and turmeric and chamomile inside of that one. And inside of my tropical pink thing, I had my pink pineapple because it was going crazy at Kroger's. I've been seeing them. I was like, I've never had a pink pineapple, so I bought it. Me and my sons loved it. So I always keep like two of them in the house. So I chopped two of them up, just dehydrate them. So I'm gonna make some teas out of this. So I did strawberry, pink pineapple, hibiscus, and ginger just because that ginger and hibiscus does a good play with each other, especially for like the gut health and then blood circulation, cholesterol, regulating your blood. So it's good. So, you know what I'm saying? People don't like taking medicine. There are alternatives out there, you know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of times why they tell you not to drink hibiscus and stuff like that with your blood pressure medicine just because it's going to kind of give you them same benefits, but it's not going to hurt you. But those are the two that I started off with, and then I think I had lavender in my garden, a bunch of lavender. So I went next to my Berry Berry Relax, which is my strawberry, blueberry, raspberry, and lavender. And I just try to find a new tea to make like almost every 2 to 3 weeks because I was doing the farmers market every 2 Sundays. So I was like, every week I come here, I want to drop something new on them. I want to have people excited about stuff. It started off with just regular jars. I started getting labels for them. From the labels, I started getting the tops with the straws inside of it. I wish I would have brought some of those up here to kind of show you the aesthetics. It was just more for aesthetics. And people liked it. It was more convenient for people to walk around and be able to drink around in the park while they were just shopping with other people. So shout out those 3 teas in the beginning, man. And they still hold strong. Like people love them.
So what is dehydration? I heard you say it a couple times. What do you mean by
Dehydrating? So as far as dehydrating, the process of dehydrating, it's like you will put it inside of a dehydrator is a little box and it pushes out a low heat temperature. So it's about 160 degrees. Some of them will go about to 200. Mine, I keep it to 160, just kind of keep all the flavor and try not to burn all the nutrients out of the fruits.
Right.
So it's all you're doing is dehydrating, it's sucking all of the moisture out of the fruit so that if you do store it, it's not to grow mold. You can store it for a year plus, as long as you got it sealed. So I got my teas and I got all my dehydrated fruit inside of these jars. and they're all dehydrated, so there's no mold or any bacteria that can build inside of her. So if I was to take a bunch of strawberries and throw them inside a jar and not dehydrated, you're gonna get some type of wine, you know what I'm saying, some mold build up inside of her. So that's the way you could be able to do it to where you could keep those fruits. If you got fruits in your house and you don't want them to go bad, you know you're not gonna get to it. You dehydrate them bad boys, throw it inside your jars, and now my fruits that I got don't go wasted. You know what I'm saying? I got a bunch of kids, and they don't always want to go through them strawberries that week, so I go ahead and just say, okay, we go ahead and chop them up before they get soft or anything. Throw them in the dehydrator, got them stored off, and when I'm ready for them, I throw them in a blender, crush it to a powder, and I can scoop it out of the scoop and put it into a tea bag.
Okay,
You know what I'm saying? So
amazing.
you're not wasting anything. And I grew a bunch of my fruits. Like I grew my peaches, raspberries, strawberries, and blackberries. Something else that I grew last year, another fruit. Oh, no, my cucumbers. So all my cutie limes, I got a tea. It's a cucumber lime mint with mullein leaf. The mullein leaf
You
is
say
good.
cutie limes? What is
Yeah. So it's a cucumber and lime tea.
Okay, I
The
got
name
you,
of it is cutie lime. It's cucumber lime mint with mullein leaf. And mullein leaf is good for the respiratory system. It's good for mucus and like breaking out like when you got a whole lot of mucus and drainage, it'll break it on down, and when you get out, when it goes to settle to your stomach, it'll break it down in your stomach, so you ain't running around with them cramped stomachs. Like, oh, I've been sniffing all day, I got that mucus on my stomach, so it'll help break it down. So it helps a lot with that. And I got horrible allergies, horrible sinuses, so me and all three of my boys be needing it. So we'll definitely drink that. I try not to put sugar inside of it because sugar do build mucus,
Right.
but I make that with honey, so it's a guaranteed help.
So you mentioned earlier that people like don't even call you Tim. A lot of people recognize you as Fruitease, the guy.
Yeah.
Like, how does that feel? Like,
It actually feels good because I don't like to be in the center of attention. Like people may think that I do because I'm really talkative and I'm high energy, but for the most part, if I'm really pushing my business and what I'm doing, whether or not it's art or custom apparel, I would like for you to know about that rather than know more about me. Because it's like I'm a man of many trades, so it's like if you get to just know me and it's like, oh yeah, Tim, he fixes on cars. I don't want to just be Tim who does this. You can know me for whatever you want to know me
Right.
from, per se. But a bunch of people in Louisville know me. And I went through that phase throughout high school, and, you know what I'm saying, college. I'm just talking about, you know what I'm saying, wanting people to know you or just being all in, you know, in your face. And
Right.
I'm 34 years old. I just hit 34 last month, and it ain't about me. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to push
It's bigger
health
than
and
me, man.
wellness.
Yeah.
It's just a lot bigger than me. So I am Tim, but feel free if you do call me Mr. Fruitease or Slim. I'm not offended by any means, because at this moment in my life, not only did I start realizing that Fruitease, it's like, oh, this is crazy beneficiary, like whether or not I work third shift. So sometimes I used to have horrible trouble like getting to sleep at night. I guess, working at Papa John's, schedule been all over, working GE, working UPS. So now I get ready, my last little hour, I work from home, I'm on the computer, I go in the kitchen, make me a lavender tea, sip on that for that last hour, I go in the room, pass straight out, and like, it's no problems. And
So you saying the lavender tea is good for the sleep aid?
yeah, lavender and chamomile, they're super good for sleep aid. Jasmine green tea is good for relaxation too, but and anxiety, but it's still caffeinated, slightly caffeinated. So I would lean more towards the chamomile out of lavender.
So if you had to give somebody one that for like an early morning wake up, like a substitute for that coffee, you know what I mean?
Got you. Yeah. See, my go-to every morning is going to be a watermelon lemon mint. That's my minty melon tea, and it's just because when I wake up in the morning time, I don't really have a lot of an appetite, and the mint is going to help with your stomach, gonna clear it out, help with the bloating, the indigestion. So I'm talking about immediately. If you walk around in the morning time, your stomach's kind of upset, I go out to the garden, pick like 2 mint leaves, and just chew on it, and
Really?
I'm talking about instantly you start feeling that settling. So. That's not just like a biased opinion. I really use this, but
I'm gonna need some mint leaves. I
Yeah.
eat cheese, man.
I'm telling
Okay.
you, and it really works for that. Because like I said, I drink coffee like crazy, and they always putting that milk inside of the cream. And sometimes I tell them give me almond milk, but sometimes I want that regular,
Yeah, I
that
want
regular
treat,
taste.
man. Yeah, I
So
want
you know what I'm saying? I get that, and whether or not I do a burdock root or either I do a mint tea, both of those gonna help with that stomach and just breaking down whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's hard for your stomach to break down inside of her.
So you no longer drink coffee?
Oh, no. I drank coffee. I just
Okay.
drank 2 coffees before I got here.
Okay, I get you.
Yeah. No, I love it. And I'm actually bringing coffee to my menu. I got a post on there. And all of my coffee will be ginger or turmeric or burdock root added into it just to kind of help counteract, to give you some type of health benefits inside of it. Because I say all the time that you go to places like Starbucks and stuff like that to get these coffees or these Starbucks refreshers. No shot to Starbucks, 'cause I still go there. But this artificial flavoring, this syrups, it's dyes. And a lot of these dyes is horrible for us, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you look at this, all of this, there's no dyes inside of it. It's all natural coloring from the flower or the tea leaf or the fruit inside of it. And all of the fruit inside of her, there's no syrups inside of it. Those is real fruits and real, whether or not it's ginger or turmeric, it's not artificial. I went to Whole Foods, I've bought it, I've dehydrated, I've crushed it down to a powder. So it's just, when you know what you putting into your body, you can do better. So I tell my kids all the time, if you know better, you do better. And I like to start holding myself accountable as far as the same thing. We can't watch what we eating all the time. So at least if we not drinking Gatorades and
Right.
ginger ale with no ginger inside of it, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that.
I told my homegirl that, like, you know, like, I'm not the healthiest guy, but if you just not drink that soda with 70 grams, that's a candy bar, a liquid candy bar.
And that's the thing. I make these with sugar. So each serving is about 20 grams of sugar. I will show the people. So it's filled up to this bottom line. So it's about a half of each of my teas, but I do offer it unsweetened and I do offer it with honey. It's $2 extra for honey on delivery. But this year, I am trying to introduce stevia to the menu. I grew stevia last year. I had about 4 stevia plants, but I'm going to try to grow a whole garden bed of stevia so I can just strictly make my tea with stevia and give people the option of requesting sugar or honey instead or unsweetened. And that way, there's less mucus build up and I can really talk the talk and walk the walk behind the tea. So stevia is my goal this year. This is probably one of the one seeds that I'll probably have about 5 to 6 packs of, and they're going to come with about 500 seeds inside of it. So I'm going to try to grow at least 2 garden beds of stevia so I can just push Fruitease a little bit more on that healthier side. And then people will really know what's going on with their body and not, you know what I'm saying? I got a lot of diabetics that hit me up and they want it unsweetened because they don't want the sugar in it. But they don't mind to have it sweetened with stevia, but I don't really offer it per se right now. So I would like a chance to offer that and just kind of see how, like, gauge the audience on it. And if people, you know what I'm saying, because a lot of people just like Fruitease for the flavor too. So if people do want sugar, I will offer that too. But I just want to lean more towards the healthier side. And I hadn't got a chance to talk about that yet. But that's one thing I'm looking to do with Fruitease this year alone is make it that much more healthier with stevia.
So have you got and somebody, you know, started drinking your teas, like, and gave you like a feedback, like, not so much changed my life, but I feel better, like,
oh no,
testimony?
seriously, I got a guy, he works third shift and he was just telling me like, man, insomnia, it's hard for me to go to sleep. I hardly, like, when I go home, I'm up for like 5 hours when I get off work. And I was like, bro, like I got this chamomile and I got this lavender tea I can let you try. He was at the farmer's market. He bought one of each. He was drinking the one while he was there, and then he saved the other one for later. He came back probably 2 weeks later and probably bought 6 of them in front of me. He was just like, hey, bro, that really, really helped me. He was asked me how long it's stored and all of that. So the jars, they do store for about 7 to 10 days in the refrigerator. If you want to store it for any longer than that, you just want to kind of burp it every 2 days. If you don't burp it every 2 days, you just keep it in there for 7 days and let it stay sealed, you'll have kombucha. So kombucha is a fermented tea. So it's basically a natural fermentation inside of the fruits inside of the tea. It do have sugar, and then I have the sugar inside of there. So it's the yeast, the natural yeast inside of the fruits inside of her. It'll bond with the sugars, and it'll start eating at it, and it'll make it basically a carbonated tea. So it's good for probiotics, digestion, gut health, and a little bit of everything like that. But kombucha is getting pretty popular right now, right along with matcha. So if you wanted to get you your own kombucha, you could buy tea from me and just let it chill inside your fridge on your counter for 7 days.
For more exclusive content,
subscribe to our Patreon.
This podcast was produced by Behave with Confirmed Podcast Network.
Big and lazy.
this is the Big and Lazy Podcast. Give us something good to eat. Give us something good to watch.